Barry, how you doing this morning, man?
What's up, good brother? How are you?
I'm doing well. So let me introduce myself real quick to you. I'm Umi Wagner, co-owner of this space that we're in and the brand that it houses. ETC Tacoma and then et cetera is the name of the brand. I'm a co-owner. Paris Wright is my counterpart in all of this, and we've been at it for going on 6 years now.
Super dope. Yo, man, like when I walked into the space, I was just so taken away because like I think this is like a really good example of like modern minimalism. It's like everything is curated perfectly to the T. And the flares, the colors, it's just so dope. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm Barry Johnson, interdisciplinary artist, do paint, performance, film, installation, video direction, photography, everything. I try to get busy. So I'm really stoked to be in this space. And the thing about it is like looking around at like all the apparel and the different designs, like this really speaks to me because I find that you're working in like a lot of different contexts. Is that intentional?
Yeah, most certainly. It's first of all, it's very exciting to hear that it speaks to you. And second of all, I didn't know that you did all of that. I didn't know you were multidisciplinary in terms of that. I thought that it was just what I had seen on, which is like very nice paintings,
Thank you,
or it's oil on canvas stuff.
That's actually house paint. Like
What?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Like Ralph Lauren, like house paint, like
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Oh,
You know what I
like,
mean? Things
like
like
house
that.
paint. Okay.
Yeah, it's being self-taught, not ever going to art school or anything, and just picking up art a little bit later in life. Like, the great thing about it is like if you don't know the rules, there are no rules that you follow. So I'm just constantly trying to break things that like traditional people do. So I know a lot of painters like to use oil. That's the preferred. It's like you at the highest levels if you do that. And same thing with like acrylic. But man, I'm telling you, I didn't have any bread to even be able to purchase a lot of material. So I just went to Home Depot, got like them small little tints, got home and got to it.
Man, that's amazing to hear because that's like how the brand all started. So back to what you were saying is like, yes, we do that with intention. It's really cool to hear that you it's something that catches your eye, like it's gear that you would be into naturally if you saw it or if you're in a store and you're just happen to walk by it, because you're our target market. Like there's a heavy focus on youth, but it's very artist centric. Like that's the in any discipline of it, whether it's dance or music or illustration, whatever, like that's the target market. That's who we're literally making it and promoting it to you. That's our goal.
Right. Yeah. So let's spend some time on that. Like, this year has been a whirlwind. Was there any new collections, new colorways, new designs that you introduced this year, and where did that kind of originate from?
The biggest thing for us this year, to be honest, Barry, was the business format in which we release. Like, so part of how we keep things going is by releasing them in very limited quantities for a very short amount of time. It's called streetwear. We call it rare wear. It's just our way of saying that this sector of fashion that we came from is based off of demand, which is like making sure that things aren't for everybody. It's not an elitist mentality. It's a first come, first serve mentality. Like who wants it the most type thing. So this year that was been the focus, like to hunker down onto what we do, which is like color, and make sure that we're talking to Tacoma in some form, but also keeping the conversation bigger than just Tacoma. And this year it was about making it faster. So usually we released in the past like once a month. There were even years where it was like once every 2 months that you would get a full collection from us. But this year it was all about kicking it into high gear. And at the top of the year, we thought that things were going to be, that we were going to have to slow down. But after the first drop, things went quickly as they normally do. And then there was the question that we have been getting for years, which is, when's the next drop? Like sometimes on drop day, people go, when's stuff dropping in it? I'm like, yo, do you know what day you are? we're in
Yeah,
here. This is
yeah,
drop
yeah.
day.
Mhm.
You got a while, my boy. So that's always been interesting. So there was always the fear of Tacoma not being big enough to be able, like, honestly, we were pocket checking Tacoma. We were counting people's pockets for them. Like, does Tacoma have, because we've never seen it.
Right.
So we just believed that it didn't exist, that there wasn't enough Tacomans to support how fast the flow was coming out. Because when we first started, the argument was that our t-shirts were too expensive. But now that's never a problem now. So it's just about how fast we can give them product to keep them intrigued. So that's been our biggest change this year.
And I think that's dope because it's like, you know, I laugh because I think about our rated consumerism. It's like a director spends the whole how many years, how many months to produce a show, comes out, everybody watches it in one setting, boom, give me more. So I think that's you know, really interesting that applies the same context with clothing. I feel that same type of pressure as a visual artist.
I was going to ask you if it happens to you.
Yeah.
People are like, you do a gallery and then they're like, yeah, this is really dope. What's the next gallery you doing? It's
exactly.
Like, what? Dude, do not talk to me about the next anything I'm doing. I'm just showing this to you.
It's a constant need to feed the gram, right? Because, like, you know, there are opportunities in galleries, there are opportunities to show in physical locations, but outside of that, I'm trying to build a community online as well. So, you know, that's another one of the reasons why I use house paint, because I can just apply it. It's like the medium just works a lot better. So I try to produce like a painting once a week. But even after I do like that painting, and they are always on like a pretty large scale. Like right now, I got a couple 15-foot pieces of my daughter I'm about to roll out tomorrow. But you know, it's just trying to be a production warehouse and continue to put stuff out. But definitely, the moment that anything goes out, immediately people are like, "Yo, let me see more. Like, what do you got coming up next?" And I'm like, "You see what I did?"
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, that's okay because you know, to the point about the pocket check-in, you know, being here, creating a presence, like I think it's good because I think that's what's going to separate people. And I just think that's the natural direction that everything is going. It's like the rate of acceleration is just faster now. You have to be able to move at a quicker space, even in this pandemic.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So
it
you know,
doesn't slow things.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, no, honestly, in terms of it, it was just that moment where people were uncertain about what it looked like to move forward, and then once it started slowly happening, then people were really up for it. But one thing that I feel like this year, what I've seen, and I'm very interested to hear from another Black entrepreneur, business owner. You make money off of your art, so I know that like it's what you do. Have you felt has there been have you felt like a jump in support or less support since the social issues that have happened at the top of the year?
So that's really interesting. Whenever people started showing up, the short answer is yes.
Okay.
The longer explanation to it is that whenever people started coming up showing support, I really felt like it was just, you know, tokenizing me.
Same.
Because it's like, yo, I've been explicitly painting about Black experience in totality since my inception as an artist. Nothing has changed. The level and the detail and the ability to create, of course, is growing up. That's just working at your craft. But
sure. And how long would you say that you've been?
6 years.
Boom.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
it's
you
the
know.
Exact same number.
My man. Yeah. So, you know, it's just there and you just continue to work at it and you explore more, you create more, you think about like, yo, I want to try to do this. The support has been good. And I think it speaks to the whole point. Watch out, I'm vibing off like the demand increasing because, you know, we used to have to work for a wall to be able to throw some paint up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, while it's great to be a studio artist, I think that just the natural evolution is just being able to get your work out in bigger places. So whenever things started getting boarded up, like the first thing is that like I got a chance to work with 15 other artists to do the Black Lives Matter mural out in Seattle.
Thank you for that.
Super dope experience. I'm really glad that the city came back in and decided to make it permanent. You know, that's us like putting our actual like footprint, a landmark.
Yeah, because there was no rules to it, right? It was like, yo, you're drawing. This is just your letter.
Yep.
Like have at it.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it goes.
What letter are you?
I'm the E, and you know what I mean. And like
Yeah.
that's for my daughter. My daughter's name is Eva, and I
Oh,
picked the
that's
colors and everything. You know, I
amazing.
try to keep it.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean, all around us.
story all the way. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, it ended up being like more opportunities for more walls. So as the stress came, because I'm like, yo, like some people like we got like a block long set of panels,
No, it's
have
not.
at it. And I'm like, I've never did this before, but that's just Black culture though,
Yes,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Like we are the literal incarnations of the lemons to lemonade.
100%.
Hey, I'm Umi from ETC and ETC Tacoma. Thank you for watching the night show. Right now, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tacoma Public Utilities, and let you know that if you or someone that you know is having difficulty with bill pay, all you need to do is log into mytpu.org/assistance to learn what options are available to you today.
There's, you know, this series I'm working on now that's like a 100% iron oxide. Like I like to dabble with a lot of different things, and working with iron oxide, I created these like self-destructing pieces. So they're only made with iron oxide pellets and water, and I use them to like paint images, but they're always a very deep Black content. I brought it up because like there's a series that just says Black over and over and over again. The dope thing about it is it's like in 10 to 15 years, since there's no sealant used on all of it, everything is going to fall off that. And it's like a comment on, hopefully by the time every granule falls off that canvas, we won't be dealing with a lot of the problems that we are today. And that's why I think this time is so important, you know, and I'd like to hear you speak on that about like what this year has really played and where you see things going.
Same. Before I do, can I ask how you got into that? Like, one of the big questions that I wanted to ask you was how you're, especially because with art, it could be every second. It's like how your muses and inspirations have changed in this year, or, you know, being at prior to the year, before you knew there was you're going to be on lockdown, and like coming out of things on the other side.
You know, it's just there's a bigger microscope to it now. Like the commentary has always been saying Black and brown experiences, those experiences of Black boys, Black women, social justice, and police violence, and how that's affected us both historically and in this time now. So it just changes like the people that end up being in the pieces change. You know what I mean? It's still all about us and will always be about us. But you know, I think that that's like the responsibility of us as artists is continue to like share our culture, share our moments, and I've always believed that artists are some of the most important people when it comes to times like these, because if we don't document every single thing that's happening right now,
the story can be retold. It happens to us all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So we literally have to. That's why I love that y'all are producing at such a higher rate, because if we don't do that, man, there is no way that 20 years from now people will believe that 2020 happened.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I agree.
So you know that's really what it is. So like I love that y'all are in there creating. Tell me about like from the work that you're doing, like collaboration wise, like do you see like more collaborative efforts? You talked about like the team being able to grow, y'all being able to surprise each other with like, yo, look what I've been working on and stuff like that. Like, do you see, you know, the brand, naturally you want the brand to grow, but tell me about how you envision that.
So the big goal for us is to find the healthy balance between being a brand that is for Tacoma and stands on Tacoma, but also can be represented out there in the rest of the world. Like that's really the heavy balance that we're going for. And Special Projects is a way to do that. Mm-hmm. Special Projects allows us to actively pursue things that aren't in Tacoma, but are cool, and then show Tacoma them, so then that the bridge is built. Because it's more all of that has to do with showing Tacoma things. Because the more that we show Tacoma, then the more that like there's a chance for us to do those things here. Right. So that is definitely our goal moving forward. Is more Special Projects, definitely to move faster and to show our work in terms of collaborating. Like that's a big deal. Like right now we're doing a t-shirt benefit charity t-shirt with Onsite 253 Fitness, and we're doing that because they do very big things with Tacoma Kids. They also run Tacoma Kids, the charity, And for us, it's important to show that not only are we in support of Onsite 253, but like we're really on this charity,
Yep.
and like we're giving back. We're finding ways to be able to give back. Like that's a direct pipeline where it's not like take this money and then see where it goes or give it to some charity. It's like very specific lines that we're trying to draw here, and that's the goal with really moving north. Honestly, we have a lot of partnerships out there that we haven't been able to show the work, and so that's important to us. What about you moving forward into this next year? As I'm assuming that you're going to take the opportunities that are running at you now and like try to check them all off, or are you being more calculated about how you move since there are so many new opportunities?
Well, I like what you talked about, making sure that essentially like any type of collaboration that you're doing that like morally it aligns, right? Because I think that whenever you're growing at a crazy pace, like that's what will end up like happening is that very quickly you'll be like, I just want to do any and everything. And you can end up
Start checking them off.
Yeah, exactly. And you can end up with bad money like that.
Oh,
you know what I
for
mean? Like
sure,
remember
yeah.
like when 50 said that like Trump wanted that photo op and he's like, that's bad money.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
totally.
yeah, I think for that point, like that's why I stand as that like I'm gonna continue to do all the work that I am right now. The projects are coming, the work is getting better just because I want to continue to work at it. But more important than anything, it's about the give back. Like if I can't, be able to affect like my community, be able to affect like my people, uplift the homies, like there is no like once I walk on the door, I'm shutting it behind us. You know what I mean? Like that door, I see that door, I'm gonna knock, y'all ain't let me in, or I'm gonna kick it open. And that's just it. You know what I mean?
100%. Yes.
Yeah. But I appreciate
We're
you,
here
brother.
for that. We're here. I'm here for artists like, we just need more artists like yourself that via this conversation, Barry, I can tell more than anything that you have a vision for where we should be going. That's important to me, man, to know like it might not be my vision, but you also have a vision for success for us,
Right.
for where we should be going, for how it should look. And like, that's what like, that's all I care about. Just, I want people out of the just cruising. Like, I don't want them cruising. I want them thinking about how to affect it, how to affect change within us.
As do you, brother. And it's like really about a collective consciousness. We're all being part of the diaspora, the Black and brown experiences entirely. Like it's up to us to like take our culture, put it out there, do it right, make sure that like people are aware of it and continue to push this forward so that like the people that are behind us can be able to benefit from like what we're doing right now in this moment. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate this conversation.
Same.
All love, man.
Yeah.
Word.
SAFETY. Safety dance. We can fly where you want to. We can leave your house behind. But if your friends don't mask, and why don't they mask? Well, they won't fly this airline.
You can fly if you want to, cause we do safety right. We have air that's clean and disinfectant machines zapping germs like an arcade space fun. And we dance
Do the dance, do the dance.
Everybody wash some hands.
Do the dance, we're always wearing a mask. Do the dance,
No, seriously, please wash your hands.
do the dance,
HEPA filters cleaning commence.
Alaska safety dance, Alaska safety dance, Alaska safety dance.
And we're back with Tacoma's own Adrian Melanio, newest, hottest R&B out here. Co-signs by Neo, I Am Sue, and Nefta Pharaoh collaborations. Over 10 million plays on Spotify and TikTok. With no further ado, here to perform for you, Adrian Melanio.
Shawty in a whip, got a sweet ride. Sweet ride. Said she's from Tacoma, got a cool vibe. Cool vibe. Cruising down Pacific on a late night. the club cause it's our time. Cause it's our time. I see your new dress and your iPhone. Hit me up when you know I'm home. Play no games cause I'm in my zone. You the bomb girl, got my mind blown. Don't ever gotta question me. Ain't talking about that make-believe. Love the way you do those things to me. The baddest thing I've ever seen. Take it real fast, real far. Ready for the night, gonna risk it all. Just wanna bust down those walls. Leave it all right, gonna take no calls. Take it real fast, real far. Ready for the night, gonna risk it all. Just wanna bust down those walls. Leave it all right, gonna take no calls. Shawty in my lap said it feels right. Feels right. Looking all back cause you're so fly. So fly. Love enough she walks in, it's so far. So far. Flexing with her curves and it's all mine. I said it's all mine. I see your new dress and your iPhone. Hit me up when you know I'm home. Play no games cause I'm in my zone. You the bomb girl, got my mind blown. Don't never gotta question me. Ain't talking about that make-believe. Love the way you do those things to me. The baddest thing I've ever seen. Take it real fast, real far. Ready for the night, gonna risk it all. Just wanna bust down those walls. Leave it all right, gonna take no calls. Take it real fast, real far. Ready for the night, gonna risk it all. Just wanna bust down those walls. Leave it all right, gonna take no calls.